Hello Guardians, my name is Legend of Excalion, and today we're going to dive back into the Redrix's Broadsword to see how it's doing after the high impact buff of update 2.9.0 and Season of Arrivals. But as always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video for more content like it in the future, and we're going to get into the video. I did a review on the Redrix's Broadsword just a couple of weeks ago after we learned that high-impact pulse rifles were going to receive a buff in Update 2.9.0. Well, that buff has now come and gone, and I wanted to check it out just to see exactly what we're dealing with, and I am very pleased with the results. Now, I've used other high-impact pulse rifles, namely the Premonition, and I have a decent roll on the Premonition, and the Vigilance Wing, which, mind you, is, even though it's a 530 RPM and a 5-round burst, it is still considered a high-impact, so it did also receive this buff. But for me, I really prefer using the Redrix. And I'm going to say there's one bad thing about this. It is limited to this season, as its power limit is 1060. If you're wanting to use this competitively, past this season, you're unfortunately not going to be able to do that. But for regular PvP content, it is still an absolute killer choice. Now, as I mentioned in my previous video, Redrix is pretty unique in that it's the only pinnacle weapon that can actually receive pseudo-random rolls, and this is to the perks. Outlaw and Desperado will always remain, but you can get different barrel perks and different round perks, and I was fortunate enough to get this particular roll that I consider my god roll with Arrowhead Break and Ricochet rounds, and what that does is Arrowhead Break does help moderately control the recoil while adding the stability, and Ricochet rounds adds a little bit to range and some to stability. I was very fortunate with this to get the range masterwork, which helps level this pulse rifle out rather well. Now, to go over the stats on this particular roll, the RPM is 340, the impact is 33, the range with the masterwork is 73, stability of 68, a handling of 47, a reload speed of 44, an aim assistance of 39, a zoom of 18, and a recoil direction of 100, with the magazine being 36 with the backup mag. And yes, I did choose to go with the backup mag on this overall. It just seemed like the better option because the one thing about this high impact pulse is that it does have a limited magazine. If you're going to be spraying and praying, I'd absolutely recommend this mod. That being said, one of my absolute favorite things about this pulse rifle is the recoil direction being 100. What that means is, so long as you're actually shooting for the upper body to the neck area, you're going to get the crit every time. And it's almost guaranteed. Now, to go over the actual buff that this weapon received, previously, this weapon was doing about 33-34 per crit, with about 15, I believe 13, maybe 13 to 15 per body. I can't remember the exact number there. But with this new buff, crits actually went up to 35 to 36, and the body shots went to 16 to 17, 15 to 17. It's in there. But the important one is the crit damage. With the crit damage of 35 and 36, it's a 0.67 TTK value. With 35 per crit, you're going to be able to take care of most Guardians at a level 8 resilience or lower. At a 36 crit, you're going to be able to take care of Guardians at a 67 TTK value at max resilience. And that's what makes this pulse rifle so good. Now, I've chosen to go with Middle Tree Void subclass for my Hunter, because one thing that's really cool to do with this weapon, with Way of the Wraith, you have a perk called Flawless Execution. While crouched, precision kills grants you invisibility, true sight, and increased melee range. Now, the melee range is a nice little added bonus to that, but the real kicker is, if I get that crit kill and go invisible while crouched, there's going to be other enemies, downrange, and the cool thing is, they're not going to be able to see me, and that makes for some really awesome plays. I'm able to take 2 to 3 Guardians at a time, and if I am fortunate enough to get the crit kill and proc Outlaw, with my reload speed being so quick, I'm able to stand the gunfight for a really long time. So far as armor goes for this, for pulse rifles, there's not really a whole lot of exotics that pair too well, just specifically with pulse rifles, but we are very fortunate with the artifact this season, granting some awesome mods that are cheap to slot that really help with this. The first being for your helmet, we have enhanced scatter projectile targeting. What that's going to do is enhance your target acquisition with pulse rifles, auto rifles, SMGs, fusion rifles, and things like that. Other thing we have is on your arms, we have the enhanced pulse rifle loader, which is going to highly upgrade your reload speed for pulse rifles. And then with the chest, we have the enhanced rifle aim, I believe is what it's called. Enhanced unflinching rifle aim, which is going to reduce your flinch from incoming fire while aiming any rifle class weapon. So, I mentioned in another video regarding the Gnawing Hunger how awesome that these pair together, and having that enhanced pulse rifle loader just really tightens that up. Now, the enhanced pulse rifle loader with this is kind of a farce considering you're already getting the outlaw proc, but that's really okay. You can use it for any other situation. It's not really a big deal. With the enhanced unflinching rifle aim and the enhanced scatter projectile targeting, you're going to be able to flinch less in a gunfight and keep that target acquisition at a really long ways away. And the great thing about these perks is each of them are only a +1 to slot to your mod slots. So that's a really good choice if you're maybe limited on some of your other options. Just pick up the artifact and get to some of those mods. In closing with this video, I just want to say that this is a great pulse rifle. It's one of my favorite pulse rifles in the game, and I am a fan of many pulse rifles. My favorite being the Blast Furnace for a long time, but it has also been sunset, so I've been pretty limited on my options of what I can use in the future. Now, I do plan on getting the Cold Denial. I'm not quite there to get it in the Season Pass yet, but as soon as I do, I'll do a video on that as well. But if you're just looking to tear it up in some PvP, just regular PvP, or this season, since it is going to go to 1060, you can definitely get away with using this in Trials or Iron Banner. You're going to have a good time, and that's really all that's needed to say about it. This is a great weapon, and if you want to light your kill feed up for some playmaking, give it a shot. That's pretty much all I have for this one, guys, so I'm going to leave you with the rest of the video. I ended up getting 40 kills in this match with a 3.33 ratio. Just having a ton of fun with this pulse rifle. With that being said, guys, my name is Legend of Excalion, and Godspeed, my friends.
You're a wall around those zones. Take that iron will beyond the crucible.